Hey guys, this is Brandon from USF1. Continuing on our driver profiles, we just talked about Romain Grosjean with Haas as our number 1 driver. Now we're talking about their number 2 driver, Kevin Magnussen, coming after this. As you know, if you guys watched my previous video about our little update with Kevin Magnussen, he is very excited to start the year with us. Having said that, he is excited to be working with Haas, considering that we have a direction, we know what we want to do. While like at his previous experiences with Renault and McLaren, he really he was at teams that didn't really know what direction, didn't have much leadership involved, but. Overall, Kevin, I'm excited for 2017. Hopefully, we have a competitive car to go along with our great drivers. But Kevin Magnussen, who is younger, joined McLaren's Young Driver Program in 2009, and within 4 years, the team has decided to promote him to their Formula One race squad. By the way, he was born October 5th, 1992 in Denmark. His father, John Magnussen, had begun an association with the same team 15 years earlier, leading to a single start for McLaren in the 1995 Pacific Grand Prix. The younger Magnussen emulated his father's climb through the lower ranks, though without quite the same conspicuous promise as his father's famously dominant British Formula 3 campaign. He won Denmark's Formula 4 championship in 2008, having stepped up from karts, and 2 years later was winning Formula 3 races in his rookie campaign in the German and European series. He emulated his father's move into the British Championship in 2011. But while the elder Magnussen won 14 out of 18 races in 1994, Kevin had to settle for second in the championship behind teammate Felipe Nasr. Nonetheless, he underlines his credentials by matching Nasr's tally of 7 wins. That prompted a move up to Formula 3 Renault 3.5, where newer and more powerful cars are being used for the first time. Magnussen acquitted himself well, but endured a luckless season, losing an almost certain win in Hungary when his car failed one lap from home. Very unlucky. The following year, he delivered on his potential and came out on top of a competitive field, which included fellow McLaren development driver and current Formula One McLaren driver Stoffel van Dorn, and highly rated Red Bull junior driver Antonio Felix da Costa. Never heard of him, but I'm sure we'll hear his name soon. Magnussen clinched his title with 5 wins and missed out on a 6th victory due to a technical infringement. But his consistency was just as impressive. Without that disqualification, he'd have been on the podium 14 times in 17 races. McLaren's support led to him driving for the team at the 2012 and 2013 Young Drivers Tests. They were sufficiently impressed with his potential that they took the surprising decision to drop Sergio Perez after a single season and promote Magnussen to their race team for 2014. Magnussen's Formula One career could hardly have got off to a better start. He qualified his McLaren Mercedes on the second row of the grid on his first visit to the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne, and was soon up to 3rd place after Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes hit trouble. That was kind of a weird sentence. Showing commendable maturity, Magnussen brought the car home in the same position, taking a podium finish. He was later promoted to 2nd in place of Daniel Ricciardo, whose Red Bull failed a post-race technical inspection, the race result for a Formula One debutant in 18 years. However, it proved a false dawn for Magnussen and the team, neither of which reached the podium again all season. A tangle with Kimi Räikkönen early in his 2nd race in Malaysia set the tone for an often frustrated season as McLaren were stuck in the midfield. He repeated his 4th place on the grid in Germany, but was hit by Felipe Massa within seconds of the start, compromising his race. Though he was blameless on the occasion, he occasionally found himself on the wrong side of the stewards. Nonetheless, Magnussen contributed 12 points finishes over the 19 races. While he was unsurprisingly shaded by world champion teammate Jenson Button, it seemed a tough verdict on his performance when he was dropped the following season, even if his place was taken by a driver of the caliber of 2-time world champion Fernando Alonso. Magnussen found himself heading to Melbourne as a race driver again after Alonso was injured in a preseason testing crash. But he was destined not to start as the team suffered the first of many problems related to its new Honda power unit. For the rest of the year, Magnussen was back on the bench, and his hopes of a 2016 return seemed to be dashed when McLaren ended their association with him. However, in the run-up to the 2016 season, Renault announced it had parted company with Pastor Maldonado and hired Magnussen to partner Julian Palmer for 2016, obviously. That was a very good move. An early points finish in Russia, now we're fast forwarding 2016. An early points finish in Russia seemed to indicate Magnussen could have a productive year at Renault. However, the RS16, rooted in an underdevelopment Lotus design, proved too far off the pace at most venues and often struggled to progress beyond Q1. At times, Magnussen was plainly overdriving. He also run closer by teammate Julian Palmer than many expected. Magnussen had been in discussions with Haas about a 2016 drive, and he reopened communications with them as he grew concerned about Renault's prospects towards the end of the season. He committed to the switch for 2017, meaning he would drive for his third different team in as many years. Well, I'm excited that Kevin Magnussen's driving with us for this year. He's a seasoned driver. He has a lot better head on his shoulders than Esteban Gutierrez did, and he knows how to bring a car home, unlike Gutierrez. But yeah, guys, that does it for my driver series for Haas. I'm Brandon from US Formula One, your source for Formula One news here in North America. Till my next video, guys, take care.